All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for a Star Trek Adventures one shot with some fantastic role players and, a relatively okay game master. At least that's what he's been told to himself in the mirror this morning when he finished writing his one shot in his mind palace. That's what we're saying. But hello, everyone. I am Dare Wolf, the game master. And these fine gentlemen that you see here are those amazing role players that I was mentioning. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around and just quickly introduce everybody, tell us just a little bit about your character, and then, as is tradition in all Star Trek episodes, there's usually like an opening log. I mean, usually not always, but we're going to have an opening log from the first officer, which is Commander Anton. And he's going to tell you guys a little bit about where you are, what you're doing, and perhaps what shenanigans you guys will get into. But let's start with Captain Garcia, Jesse93. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
All right, my name is Jesse. I am in California, and I play Captain Eric Garcia. He is a human and a career Starfleet officer with not the best track record, we'll say, and that's par for the course with getting stationed on a ship like the Miranda class. But he tries his best to ensure his crew has the tools he can provide to succeed.
Very good. I love it. And next, let's pivot over to Cord the Destroyer.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Yes, I go by Cord the Destroyer. I am playing Pharaoh Kovar, Commander, Science Officer, Vulcan. Again, yeah, we're in this troop of kind of I don't know it's second rate, but we're trying to do work, good work, right? But Pharaoh Commander Kovar is a long time fleet commander. He's considered a veteran for most people.
Well, Vulcans do live for a long time, so he's been in Starfleet probably since the good old days, as it were. So yeah, that's fantastic. And speaking of the good old days, someone who's lived multiple lives, or at least a portion of them has, let's pivot over to the Good Doctors. I'm not going to ruin. I'm not going to take the thunder. The Good Doctor. Go ahead.
I'm Ben. I'm going to be playing a Trill, who is of the Fen lineage. Mostly doctors, but the newest incarnation is Steve Fenn.
When you rolled that out to me, my brain didn't pick it up. Last night when we were doing session 0, and I was like, that is good. I love a good pun. I absolutely love a good pun. That is great. And last but certainly not least, we have our Drubaka?
Our Drubaka?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Drew. I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Passett. He's a Bajoran security officer. And he is he's very Bajoran.
Go on.
I think that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, right. That is
he's
fantastic.
Very Bajoran.
Awesome. And as previously stated, I am the Game Master Dare Wolf, who will be taking these fine gentlemen on a fantastical journey on the frontiers of space and sanity. Wait, what? All right, so pivoting away. So we open our scene with an overview of the Miranda-class vessel at low warp, maybe warp 3, and it is just traveling through space, and as the camera pivots down towards the vessel, we see the top part where the bridge is located, and as we pivot in, we see the first officer, who is a human by the name of Commander Anton. I'm going to go ahead and just show that to the folks at home. Now, Commander Anton and the captain, you all have worked together now for several years. You've kind of bounced around from ship to ship. You'd be in always smaller vessels. The largest one you ever actually were on was a style of like an Intrepid class vessel, which you had the command of for about 3 months, and then you were just moved around again. You are currently on the Klingon border. It is stardate 2398, and things have been peaceful between the Federation and the Klingons. There's actually a very strong alliance that's been going on. So why you were sent to patrol the Klingon border, it feels more like a busy work that you were kind of just sent off to here because the Admiralty couldn't figure out what to do with you and the ship. Now, the ship itself is a refit. It is in decent condition. I mean, things tend to break down. Replicators don't replicate the right thing. You'll say Earl Grey hot, and it'll give you cocoa that has, I don't know, seeds in it. It's just not great. You know, things just don't work as they probably should. But we pivot down, and we actually go into the bridge where we see the crew is working and maintaining the ship's course, heading, etc. And we see Commander Anton sitting there. Now, for Stephen, would you be on the bridge? Would you be in the medical bay? Where would you be spending most of your time?
I feel like he would probably be in the medical bay, making sure that at the very least he's going to be able to handle any mishaps, because you said that there's been things that just don't quite work right. So he's been kind of working on testing jury-rigged workarounds.
Okay, I like it. And as we pivot down, we actually hear the kind of like an overlay of Commander Anton, and it says, Commander Anton, acting first officer. We've been sent to the Klingon border. Why? I'm not sure. The captain's kept everything a little bit hush-hush. I'm not sure if I should be worried or, well, that is to say, I should trust the captain. He's been good to me. Every time we get moved around, I don't know, maybe he's as frustrated as I am. With that being said, we haven't picked up any readings. Things have actually been relatively quiet. I'm curious as to if anything interesting actually will happen, but with that being said, I guess no news is good news. End log. And we pivot back now. We see the bridge where everyone is sitting, etc. You've got a couple of ensigns at the helm. We've got Commander Preset here. There's no sign of intelligent life. Thank you, Elrath. And as the ship is traveling along, actually, is it Pharaoh? Is that how you pronounce it? Or Kovar, I can say?
Either Commander Kovar or
Kovar.
Pharaoh.
You start to pick up the best way to describe it would be a strange signal on long-range sensors just over the border into Klingon space. It seems to be like a pulse or some sort of energy reading where it, like something maybe like there was an explosion or something. But if you want to go ahead and actually, we're going to make the first roll of the game, and I'm going to have you make a control and science. And if you have any focuses like sensor use, spatial phenomenon, things like that, you would get to use a focus on this. Now, this is a great teaching moment because I know you've never used this system. So when you go into the character sheet, you're going to select control, then it's going to pop up an input value. You're going to select from the drop-down bar, you're going to select science, hit submit, and then base roll is always 2d20. Now, if you want, you do have a momentum. You could spend that momentum to give yourself an extra d20, or you could just save that for later. And then once you hit the dice pool, you picked how many dice you're going to have, then you would say yes for focus if you have, like, what are your focuses, for example?
I actually have sensor use,
Perfect.
physics,
Yeah.
botany, linguistics.
Absolutely. Then you would definitely have a focus. So you would go ahead and once you get to that point, you would select yes for focus and then click submit.
All right, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. When I'm clicking control, it doesn't do anything.
Well, let's double check here.
Pop up behind your character sheet.
What's that?
If you move the character sheet window over, it should pop up. So move
Yeah, there should be a little input value thing that opens up.
Ah, it's behind it.
Yep.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what's going on. Gotcha. Ooh, and I have quite a few of them open because I've clicked.
You've clicked it 8 times.
Yeah,
Hey,
that happens.
technical
Cancel.
difficulties, man. It's all good.
Cancel, 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 cancel. All right, hold on. All right. All right, now that like 12 of them are now gone. All right, let's bring character sheet back up. Put it on the left. All right, so control. And we're doing what again? Sorry.
Control science. Base roll
Science.
is 2d20.
Okay. Yep. And you said since I do have sensor use.
You would
then...
say yes for focus. Now, the difficulty on this check is going to simply be a 1. So it's a very simple check. Oh! Our first complication. So you have a couple options here. You do. What are your talents? What are your talents that you have?
Talents. I have. I'm a veteran, wise and experience. Draws upon inner reserves of willpower and determination in a more measured and considered way.
Your only choice right now is if you want to spend your determination to re-roll everything. It's a little early to spend that determination, so you could simply just fail the check, and then what I would do is I would pocket a little bit of momentum for that nat 20. So if you wanted to simply fail it, and then I can explain what happens, or you could spend your determination to re-roll that check.
Could the ship assist them?
The ship absolutely could assist if you want. Yes. If you want to grab the ship, Garcia, that is totally cool.
All right, I will roll the ship.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to see what I did there. So what did I roll? I rolled a 17 and I rolled a natural 20.
Yep.
That's what it was. Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm not finding the ship token here.
Oh, you know what? It would help if I put it in all of your journals. And now you have access to it. The USS Dauntless.
Right,
There we go.
So, we're gonna go.
Super professional game master streamer. Just
No
doing God's
worries.
work over here.
Do you want me to hit sensors science?
Yep, absolutely. Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep. And remember, the ship always has a focus and always rolls 1d20.
Awesome. Let's do that.
Ooh, damn. So that is a fail. So as you are trying to analyze this strange reading, the sensors don't know what to make of it. It appears to be a mixture of, there's some tachyon particles, there's some other strange energy. Nothing is quite making sense. It doesn't look like it's a supernova. It doesn't look like a ship explosion. It's just this unknown energy reading that's coming through the sensors, and the only thing you could think of is maybe if you got closer and got on short range, but at this point you're not sure what's going on.
All right. Yes, Captain Garcia, we're having troubles with our sensors, not really reading anything at all right now. I think best bet is to move much closer.
Captain Garcia just sort of nods and he looks back to, I believe the engineering officer is going to be Weton, right? Pesset?
No, I'm
No,
tactical.
you're scared. Okay. With that being said, then Commander Garcia is going to tap his comm badge and say, "Captain to Engineering."
This is Danny Bradish, Chief Engineer. I'm here, Captain. Go ahead.
Make sure to run a diagnostic on all of our sensor equipment. It appears that we are having issues in that department.
Diagnostic, Captain. Everything's broken. I'm running diagnostics on half the ship. You want me to just add it to the list, or you want me to make it a priority?
Priority.
You got it, Captain. Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy, stop what you're doing! No, we gotta check the sensors now. And then the comms cut out, and yeah, there we are.
All right, he's going to look to the ensign on the helm and say, "Take us closer, son."
Captain, take us closer to what, sir?
Signal that Commander Kovar seemed to acquire, or lose, if we will.
Aye, Captain. Changing course. Sir, that's gonna take us into Klingon space. Should I maintain course? Am I stopping at this ensign seems very nervous and unsure of himself, which is true for a lot of your crew.
Captain Garcia is going to go ahead and take a Riker pose next to him and go, "Don't worry, son. I have your back regardless of what happens.
As you wish, Captain. Setting course. And as Commander Kovar sends the signal, the direction, you can feel the ship ever so slightly. The inertial dampeners do kick in. You feel the ship ever so slightly kind of lurch to the left. And then, what speed should I head off, sir?
We'll take it slowly.
Aye, sir. Maintaining warp 3. And the ship begins traveling. Now, based on the sensor readings that you did get, Commander Kovar, even though you were not able to fully identify what it was, you were able to get a good reading on what direction it was. It is just a couple of light years across the border into Klingon space. And it's going to take you guys about an hour or so at this warp to actually get to close range sensor range. But with that being said, we're actually going to pivot over to the medical bay, where we have our good doctor, who is... What would you be working on? Do you have any experiments you're working on, Doctor? Or are you just kind of hanging out? What would you be doing, good doctor?
I would probably be working to make sure that the... what are they called again? It's the beds. The medical beds, the scanning beds, are in functioning order.
Okay, excellent. So, as it's been stated, a lot of this ship is in, like, it almost seems like they gave you a ship that was in the middle of a refit, and they were just like, have fun. Go fly your ship, go do the thing. And, like, several of the beds are, like, not all hooked up. 3 of them are, like, unpowered, and you've got your work cut out for you. And a Vulcan medical assistant is with you. And Vulcans, don't show a lot of emotion, but you can almost see just a small little twitch in her very pronounced eyebrows as she looks around at this medical bay. And she turns to you and she says, Doctor, I am curious as to how we are supposed to perform our functions optimally with a medical bay in such disarray.
Unfortunately, that is the issue. That's why I've been working on getting some jury-rigged processes set up so that if any of the things that we rely on should fail, then we can have something that should replace it.
Jury-rigged, Doctor. I'm not familiar with this term. Shouldn't we repair it properly?
Unfortunately, we seem to be lacking half the parts, and a quarter of the parts that remain are less than optimal.
Very well, Doctor.
There's this tone of disgust as he's working on the bed.
There is a noise, and the doors to the medical bay in which you are currently working on jerry-rigging some beds slide open, and a young lieutenant junior grade steps in. He is wearing red, the red uniform, appears to be either security or likely just a security guy. And he steps in, and you see that his face is very flushed. It's very red, and it looks like his hair is almost damp from him having been perhaps perspiring or sweating a bunch. And as he steps in, he goes, Doctor, I just don't feel very good. Could you examine me?
Right away. Over here. There's a seat over here.
Moves over
he
and
will
sits on the bed.
Pull out his, presume the best one would be the tricorder, and just start scanning.
Perfect. So I'm going to have you go ahead and make another roll. You are going to be rolling a control and medicine with a difficulty of 2.
Okay. What race is this?
He's human.
Okay. Would he be technically considered under xenobiology because I'm Trill?
You know what? I'll allow it. It's a little bit of a I like. No, it would be technically because you're Trill. Like, yeah, no. I think that is totally fair. Yeah, I'm totally good with that. Love it.
Okay, so you said control medicine.
That is correct.
Control medicine. Submit 1 die.
It would be 2d20
Focus.
for you because you're rolling a basic roll. So you always roll a base of 2d20.
I did that wrong then.
Yep, you go and cancel.
So,
and your medical assistant will assist you.
okay, so
She got a 16. Unfortunately, you will not get an assist from her.
okay.
Nice! Difficulty was a 2, which is going to give you an extra momentum. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ben that extra momentum. Very, very nice. So you do a quick cursory scan of him, and despite the dilapidated and not in good condition shape of the medical bay, you do a quick scan and you realize that he appears to be suffering from a very acute case of anxiety. Like he's just having a panic attack right now. So the sweating, the flush, everything, his heavy breathing, this kind of... he's having a panic attack for some reason. And you can do with that as you see fit.
Oh, I'm gonna be called a quack probably, but okay. He will look at the junior lieutenant and just be like, "All right, you're gonna stay right there. I'm gonna be right back." And he strides off like as if he's gotta, like, he needs this really fast, and he just goes into into his office, rummages around real quick, and pulls out a paper bag.
Finds a paper bag. The your medical assistant,
returns.
Ensign LeVar is what we're going to call her. She turns to you. Doctor, I am unable to identify the source of his disposition, and can you tell me what is wrong with him?
As he passes her, he's having an anxiety attack. This is one of the best ways to deal with this.
Curious.
He reaches the junior lieutenant, looks him in the eyes, and claps a hand on his shoulder, hands him the bag,
yes.
and then just smacks him on the back, like to kind of like jar him.
Oh.
And breathe in, breathe out, and just use the bag.
And after several moments, his breathing starts to become more regulated, and he starts to calm down some. And his eyes look towards you. The Ensign LeVar, your medical assistant, is still scanning him, and she turns to you. Heart rate regulating. Temperature decreasing. Doctor, it appears to be working.
Yeah. We had a couple cases like this right before final exams.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm actually going to have you make one more check.
Okay.
This is going to be an insight medicine. However, the difficulty on this is going to be a 4.
Okay. All right. I am going to spend the momentum that I just got. Okay. So you said it's insight medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that puts me at 3d20.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to presume no focus.
What are your focuses?
I've got emergency medicine, xenobiology, diplomacy, transporters, replicators, composure, and hand-to-hand.
You know what? If you want to sell me on one, I can allow it. But if you want to just roll base, I'm totally good with it.
Okay, well, so you said this is going to be insight medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the circumstances behind it. So maybe since it's basing it off of insight, either diplomacy or composure, because both of those
I like composure.
would require
so yes.
reading it.
You're trying to
Okay.
read him. Yep.
Okay. And away.
Ooh, so that is a success, but
Hold on.
with a complication. Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have cautious medicine.
Oh, you can re-roll that 0. Let's go. There we go. This guy's played before. I love it.
Okay.
Get it.
So how do I
I just roll 1d20, same roll, but instead of rolling 3, you roll the 1, and then we pretend like that 0 never happened. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So insight, medicine, 1d20
with a focus. Nice. So you actually get that momentum right back, which is fantastic. So as the ensign takes the paper bag down from his face and kind of crumples it to his side, his breathing has started to regulate more and more, but his face is still slightly flushed. And you get the impression like he wants to say something, but he's nervous to say it, or something is kind of holding it back right now. His mouth kind of starts to mouth words, but they don't come out. And Ensign LeVar, your Vulcan assistant, has turned away and gone back to trying to repair one of the beds. But this young ensign, Jenkins, he's just kind of looking at the floor, but again, he looks like he wants to say something.
So he's an ensign, not a junior lieutenant?
Lieutenant junior grade, excuse me. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you said Jenkins. Jenkins, if you need to talk, we're in a private space. If you need somewhere quiet, we can go to my office.
I don't know what you mean, Doctor. I feel better. I feel fine. You know that something is still bothering him with that 4 that you rolled.
What was going on prior to your to you having this burst of anxiousness? Like what were you doing before you ended up coming here?
I was in my quarters, sir, and I've been having these dreams, sir. I can't explain that. They're dark and there's I've been seeing Klingons in my dreams, sir, and they look. I don't know. I can't explain it, sir. And he just starts to kind of like blither and ramble on a little bit. And we're actually going to leave that right there. And we're going to pivot back to the bridge. And back on the bridge, Commander Anton leans over to the captain as you return from your Riker stance. And he just kind of leans over and he's having a conversation just loud enough so that Commander Preset, and he actually looks up at the Commander Preset. You've all worked together for some time, maybe aboard a ship or 2 before this one. And he kind of looks at you, Captain, and he says, Captain, are we really going to head into Klingon space? I mean, I know they're allies, and that's fine, but that is a bit outside of our mission parameters, isn't it, sir?
Well, number one, we are here, so we may as well see exactly what that is. It could be a call for help. You know that the frontier territory between Federation and Klingon space is not necessarily the greatest place to pilot a starship.
Well, sir, with all due respect, I've never known the Klingons to be ones to, and he chuckles, call for help.
We don't know it's a Klingon vessel, do we, number one?
He leans back. That's fair. Commander Preset, thoughts?
I don't know if we can fight our way out of any run-ins with Klingons. This ship's barely holding on as it is. I've done the best I can with the phasers.
Well, Commander, perhaps we won't need to fight Klingons. Nobody's fought Klingons since my grandfather had a Constitution-class ship.
And over at the science station, Commander Kovar, your sensors start to ping again. And this time you're actually picking up a signal. It's not an energy reading like it was before, but this one is a signal. What's interesting about it is that it appears to be very old. We're going to have you go ahead and make a control science again. This time the difficulty is going to be at 2. And with sensor use, you would have a focus. And you do have 1 momentum right now. You are muted if you're talking.
You're right. All right.
As is tradition.
Control science.
Mm-hmm.
2d20.
Yep.
Is it always 2d20?
Always a
That's
base
just
of 2d20, and the ship can assist you as well if someone wants to grab
Okay.
the ship.
I will grab it real fast.
All right. Applicable focus, yes. So you're saying that with momentum, I can add an extra d20 if I wanted to?
Yep, if you
Is
want
that
to
what it is?
spend your last momentum, you can add an extra d20. Mm-hmm.
I would, if you want, you could wait till the ship rolls just to see.
That's fair.
Probably
Yeah.
best.
Can you explain that to me? What does that mean that the ship rolls?
So the ship can assist you. So you can have, normally you can have up to 2 people, like one person makes the main roll. Great teaching moment. And then one other person can assist by rolling 1d20, or that other person can be the ship itself. So the ship's actually got you 1 success. So you're currently sitting on 1 success. You only need 2 successes. So you could just risk it to get the biscuit. And go ahead.
All right. So control science, right?
That is correct.
All right. Well, it should be an easy one, but let's see.
there you go. There you go.
Nice! That is a solid roll. So you actually are going to get 2 momentum. So every time you make a check and you roll higher than the DC, higher than the check that you need to make, any of the extra successes you get are translated into momentum. So I'm going to go ahead and deal out 2 momentum to Ben so that you have them. So you're currently sitting on 3 momentum. So the sensors, now that you are just a little bit closer, this signal that you're picking up, you instantaneously recognize it. Now what's strange about the signal is that it appears to be a signal that's about 80 years out of date. So from about 80 years ago. And it's coming from, or at least it appears to be coming from, a Klingon bird of prey. And it is about 3 light years over the threshold, over the border between Federation and Klingon space. And this distress signal, it appears to be automated, is just a Klingon phrase over and over again. And the Klingon phrase, it almost appears to be a warning, is what you're hearing. But this phrase says, stay away. It's in Klingon, but it's very easily translated. Stay away. Gre'Thor is here.
Okay. Do I know what Gre'Thor is?
You know what? If you want to give me just a momentum, I would say yes. You absolutely know. If you just want to give me a momentum. Or you want to ask someone else on the crew. Maybe they know.
I'll just bring it up.
One quick question.
Absolutely.
This was a science roll for him, so because he succeeded, doesn't he get a free question?
Oh, yes. Thank you. As the science officer, you actually get... Very well done, Dr. Stephen. So as a science officer, the chief science officer, you can actually ask me 1 question when you succeed a roll, and I have to answer it for free. So you can actually, if you want to use that as your science officer question, you absolutely can.
Every time I roll just as the science officer,
Per
I get a
scene.
free question
Yep.
per scene. Okay. Do I know what you said, Gre'Thor?
Yes, Gre'Thor is
Gre'Thor.
actually the Klingon hell.
Okay. And he said it was on board.
Says it is here. Gre'Thor is here.
All right. Then I report, look over. Captain, we have an issue there. There is a distress. I wouldn't call it a distress, actually. It's a warning stating, do not come this way. The Klingon Gre'Thor, the hell, is present.
Cross-check that with any references or any known signal the Klingons have ever sent. There should be an intelligence database.
So this would be a insight and science difficulty of 2 to quickly scan the ship's records.
Oh, question. Is the security officer, do you have any intelligence focuses? Because you could probably help him.
Ooh, you could.
I don't have any intelligence focuses, no.
But if you want to assist with a control and security, you absolutely can.
Okay.
Insight science, you got it, Commander Kovar.
That should be
You said
easy.
insight security?
Yeah, insight security.
Okay.
Mhm.
Insight. Security. Submit 2d20. Submit. No focus though. Unless it would come under the grounds of like a let's see. No, I don't. I couldn't talk my way into any of those.
There's your 2 successes that you need. Let's see if... So you would have only rolled 1 because you were assisting. So we'll just take your first roll as a success. And that's actually going to give you 1 extra momentum. So you guys are actually up to 4 momentum at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ben that extra momentum. So 2 things. You quickly, Commander Kovar, you quickly recognize that this Klingon signal is coming from a previously lost Iv Barel. He's a Klingon bird of prey from, like I said, about 80 years in the past. This was back when relations between the Klingons and the Federation weren't so good. And based on all known records and shared intelligence, this vessel has been missing in action. It was not destroyed. It wasn't, no one found any pieces of it. It just simply disappeared on a patrol mission. Similar to the patrol mission that you guys are on. Dun, dun, dun. But with that being said, Commander... now, I want to make sure it's just Passett? Is that how you say it? Passett, thank you. Commander Passett. You also pick up, based on your readings, that this vessel, based on some of the information you're able to pull up, was carrying a Klingon artifact of great religious significance. And some of the data that you pick up actually seems to indicate that that artifact may have been stolen from a Klingon temple or cathedral at one point. But the information, the data is a bit sketchy at best.
Okay, I share that with the captain.
All right. He taps his chin for a moment. Number 1, you have the bridge.
Yes, Captain?
Commander Kovar and Commander Passett, meet me in my ready room.
Excellent. And we will pivot over to the ready room. And let me grab you guys over there. Commander Anton has that. We're bringing Pharaoh and Passett. Is that correct? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we pivot over to the captain's ready room. Get you guys over yonder. And as the doors slide shut, you're able to take a seat, and the scene is yours.
All right. He he flips a projector on his desk and looks up computer. Display all known information about Gre'Thor and the Klingon bird of prey on my projector.
A huge list of data just starts to pop up, and you see all of the information about Gre'Thor, the Klingon hell and heaven, different religious texts, etc. And you have all of that information at your fingertips.
All right. Garcia lights a cigar and takes a wooden box and offers it to both of them. Gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll take one.
He hands you a cutter and the lighter. I know Vulcans are not privy to earthly pleasures, but these cigars are quite nice. They're from Cuba.
I see no reason to celebrate at this time. What is it that you know that you'd like to share with us?
It's less of a celebratory nature and more of a focusing device.
I'm
Now,
as focused
gentlemen,
as I could ever be.
Good to hear. Now, gentlemen, we have two options. We can investigate this, or we can try to reach Klingon High Command, and I would like to know your thoughts on that.
Lieutenant?
Well, if no one's going first,
Yeah, I was gonna let you go.
it is obviously very dangerous, but
Oh, Commander, I'm sorry.
it could be beneficial to look into something this extraordinary.
Indeed.
Honestly, if we could find something, out about this for the Klingons, that would definitely improve relations with the High Council.
Both good points, and I appreciate your pioneering and attitudes. Now, Commander Passett, if you could rendezvous with engineering, I would like a full tactical and schematic workup of a Klingon bird of prey from the last century. And Commander Kovar, if you could get with your team and try to find out more about this Gre'Thor, it would be much appreciated. Maybe if we have any sort of intelligence from the Cold War about this item that may or may not belong on the ship, I will try to let Klingon High Command know we're around. It could be useful. If something is very dangerous, it is better to let them handle it. And as Persed said, we would like to let them know one of their possible artifacts and one of their missing in action ships was discovered. They would like to possibly inter any casualties their way. All right, gentlemen, get to work. If you need me, you know the number.
Hi, Captain.
And as all of you break, we pivot back to sickbay, where, Doctor, you are still having this conversation with Lieutenant Junior Grade Jenkins. And he has mentioned this... He's mentioned these, like, dreams of these Klingons, but when he describes them to you, they seem more bestial. They don't sound like the Klingon physiology that you've heard of. He describes them as being insanely muscular with furry legs. They have these, the arched brow of the Klingons, but they're Their mouths are wide and long and just filled with these jagged fangs. And as he describes them to you, what are the focuses that you have again?
Xenobiology, emergency medicine, diplomacy, composure, transporters, replicators, hand to hand.
If you want to make a insight science check, you're not going to have a focus, but maybe you've heard of this before. Maybe.
Okay. I mean, yeah, because the biggest stretch I could do would be xenobiology might cover evolutionary what's the word? Lines.
I would say no focus on this one. Difficulty is going to be a 4. Now, you do have 4 momentum, so take it as you will.
I'm gonna do 3 momentum because that'll be 1 and then another one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Go ahead and...
be 4 total dice.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
With no focus.
Fingers crossed. I believe. Oh! What a roll! Oh my god, that is so good, man. Well played. Well played. So, at some point in your study of maybe Klingon physiology, you got a little bit into some Klingon religion. Maybe you thought it was, or maybe one of your past, memories, one of your past lives that you've lived here, had some run-in with maybe a Klingon priest or something. But the creature that is being described to you, it is what's known as a Fekir. They are Klingon. It's like a Klingon demon. They're set in Klingon mythology that's like a humanoid beast, which resembles like a feral, monstrous Klingon, and they are the guardians of Gre'Thor. Now, for all known knowledge and scientific fact, these are simply creatures of mythology, but that is exactly what this young Lieutenant Junior Grade Jenkins is describing to you. And he says he keeps having dreams of them.
You said they're called what?
They are called Fekir. Fekihr. I'll go ahead and post that in the chat so that you can see it. Nice roll, by the way. That was solid. I did not expect you to get that, man. That was good.
Oh my god, wait, that's... I am now extremely concerned because that's a name for an enemy in my other campaign.
Oh dear. It's probably fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen, I'm sure. But he describes to you that he keeps having this vision, like he's in a long, dark corridor. Maybe it's some sort of like space station or a ship, and he's walking and he can't stop. And at the end of the hallway, he sees this dark red glow. And as he gets closer and closer, like he doesn't even want to go closer, but he can't stop himself. This creature appears out of this red glow, charges him, and the last thing he sees is its maw charging towards his face. And then he wakes up screaming and sweating. And that's why he's been having these panic attacks, because ever since you've been along the Klingon border now for maybe a week doing this patrol. Ever since you've gotten to the Klingon border, he started having these strange and disturbing dreams.
So these dreams have been occurring for the better part of a week, if not a weekend.
That is correct,
not more.
Doctor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, when do you get off shift?
I'm currently not on shift, Doctor. I'm on beta shift, Doctor. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, but I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I start to see that thing, and it just I And he starts to kind of hyperventilate again, but then he grabs the bag and starts breathing into it, starts to calm himself down.
I would like to see if like in the medicine that we have available, there's something that would give him a more restful sleep, maybe just knock him out quick and
You want to give him a tranquilizer?
I mean, not exactly like a tranquilizer, but more like a tranquilizer probably would help, just like shh, but
Future Xanax?
yeah, like a future Xanax or
Right.
or a science fiction dreamless sleep potion.
You know what? Absolutely. Let's have you make a control medicine, difficulty of 2 check. Let's see if we can get you guys a little bit more momentum. And you definitely have a focus on this. You can concoct something in your medical tricorder.
Nope.
A Quaalude. You know what? If you want to give me 2 threat, I can let you succeed at cost. I'll let you succeed. But I'll just take some threat.
Well, I mean, I am sitting on 2 momentum.
You wanna reroll? You wanna spend a momentum? Reroll some dice?
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll.
Okay. You can go ahead and spend those momentum and reroll both those dice.
Okay.
Boomski.
So you said control medicine,
Yep.
right?
With a focus.
All right.
I believe. Everyone believe. You can do it.
I believe.
Yes, there we go. All right, and you get a momentum back. Nice. There we go. Now we're cooking. So you're using your hypo spray. You're trying to calculate the ratios. And it's actually your medical assistant, Ensign Lavar, who steps over and looks at what you're doing and says, Doctor, I do not mean to intrude, but that dosage of hypochlorylene would likely put him to sleep forever. You may wish to reduce the amounts.
Thank you, Ensign.
Of course, Doctor. And she'll go back to... She's almost got that one bed completely put back together.
Right. He's gonna put to sleep forever.
Forever.
Make note of that in case we actually need to put somebody down.
You can keep that if you want. Like, if you have to put someone down forever, you can keep that in your back pocket. For sure. That's good. Those ratios.
Okay. So I offer him a bed that is not going to be worked on anytime soon,
Right over here.
and I was just like, "All right, Jenkins, I can give you this.
Mhm.
This should help block out the dreams. I can make no promises, but at the very least, if another one happens, you'll be here, and I can help."
Okay, Doctor. I trust you. And as you administer the hypo spray, he very quickly falls into a deep sleep. And Jenkins is a snorer. He's a snorer. It's pretty loud. But he does appear to be fast asleep and is actually doing all right. He's doing all right, and he's not twitching, or he actually appears to be sleeping relatively soundly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you are you going to make any scans on him as he's sleeping? Do you want to take any brain scans, anything like that? Or you just want to let the kid get some rest?
I'm going to let him get some rest, but I am going to ask Lavar to keep an eye on him, and if he starts showing any signs of distress, to start scanning him while it is happening.
Of course, Doctor. Would you prefer that I also continue working on the beds, or should I focus all of my attention on our patient?
We've got one working bed right now.
2, sir. And she plugs in one more cord, and the bed kind of like lights up, and it's obviously working.
Excellent. So we've got 2. So we can focus on something a little bit less intensive. So why not start working on let's see. We've got the isolations, right? Let's see if we can make sure we've got one of those working.
Of course.
And we can keep an eye on Jenkins here.
I will set the computer to monitor his life signs, and if they show any signs of disturbance or change, it will alert me directly while I work on one of our isolation chambers.
I would like to calm the captain.
You may do so.
So, Dr. Fenn to captain.
Go ahead.
I just had a junior lieutenant come in with an unusual symptom of Klingon-based dreams since we started our patrol along the border. If you could ask around and keep an eye out for anybody else who might be showing similar symptoms, I will also be putting in an alert, because this does not seem this does not seem to be normal, especially with the descriptions of a Feckler from Gre'Thor.
Gre'Thor, you say?
Yes,
Can you
Captain.
send me all relevant medical data from this patient? I will view it in my chair. As for alerting everybody, I will send messages to all department heads, and anybody experiencing any symptoms will report to you directly.
Captain. That should be on its way momentarily while I consolidate it.
Keep me posted, Doctor.
And with that, we're actually going to pivot over to Commander Kovar and Preset. Now, were you both going to be working together on this? Were you going to separate departments? How were you guys going to handle this research?
We could work together.
Perfect. So we're actually going to pivot you over to astrometrics, which also doubles on this ship as a kind of... It's like connected to the supercomputer. It's a great place to just research information. You can even maybe do some long-range scans on the vessel, etc. But I'm actually going to pivot you guys over to astrometrics. You can see actually the nicest part of the ship, by the way. So you know how it was undergoing like a refit? This is one of the only parts of the vessel that's actually been completed. Very nice, very solid astrometrics bay. I'm going to go ahead and drag you both onto the map, make your character tokens just a little bit bigger, and you can begin your research. Now, what specifically would you all like to be looking into?
Let's see.
We're to be looking into what history of this.
So the
planet?
captain, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Garcia, but he gave you orders to research any sort of information about the history of Gre'Thor, the artifact itself. Also, you could attempt to make some like more close-range scans on the vessel that you're picking up. You're roughly an hour away from being close to it, so you're well within short-range sensor scans range. And you could see if you pick up any other readings of energy, etc. You've got all different types of options. You tell me how you'd like to handle it.
Well, do you want to handle like the sensor scans and all of that stuff, and I'll look into some of the more like historical, like the history of Gre'Thor.
Yes. Go ahead and do that. That works for me. History on your side, and I'll jump on the computer and see if there's anything else that this vessel out there is putting off.
So let's go ahead and start with Commander Preset. So you are researching a little bit more information on Gre'Thor. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you make a insight and security check. Difficulty in this is going to be at 2. And what are your focuses?
I have forest tracking, starship weapon systems, hand phasers, hand-to-hand combat, composure, and survival.
It's a stretch, but I'm going to give you survival on this.
Okay. That was command and security. 2d20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Submit, and I do have a focus, so...
Damn, nice.
that.
That gets you 1 extra momentum as well. So you begin to do some research, and you pick up a bunch of information about the Klingon Gre'Thor. You're able to pull up different logs, data, etc. What's really stands out to you the most is the reference to this Barge of the Dead. Barge of the Dead, which is a mythological Klingon barge that ferried the dishonored souls of the dead to Gre'Thor. It was captained by a Kotar, also known as Kotar. He was the first Klingon. And there's a lot of different references to this ship. And what's interesting is that as you start to do a little bit more research into this, we're actually going to pivot over to Kovar, Commander Kovar, and I'm going to have you make your control and science check. Difficulty on this is going to be a 2, and you would have a focus as well.
All right.
You know what I'll do is I'll just start
Control
handling
science.
the momentum because it's easy.
Remember, the ship can assist you.
Ship can assist you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see afterwards, I guess. I was looking at my abilities. Just a quick question: using determination, is that something that?
So determination is a spend. You can use it. It gives you an automatic critical success. So if you spend determination, it's going to give you 1 success, which is rolling a 1, which is a critical success, which gives you 2 successes. Okay. Now, when you spend the determination, though, it's a usable resource. You only get 1 per session. Occasionally, you can bank more, but it counts one of your 2d20 rolls as being a 1, which gives you 2 successes. That's a long, drawn out way of explaining that. But if you want to just spend the determination and then you would roll 1 additional d20, you'd automatically succeed the check, and then you might be able to bank some additional momentum.
Okay. The only reason I ask, and don't want to go off subject too much, is one of my talents is veteran.
When you spend, you re-roll, and you can potentially get that determination back. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Just asking about that. Let's see.
Hey, we're learning. That's part of this. That's absolutely fantastic.
You guys hear me at all? All right, it's working.
Damn! All right. Boomski. There we go. So that actually gets you an extra momentum. You're up to 3 momentum. So as you begin your scans, you very clearly pick up this Klingon vessel, this bird of prey. Now, as you start to scan it, you notice that it is on low power. It seems to be functioning on emergency power. But what is maybe perhaps slightly disconcerting is you are also picking up another, I hesitate to say ship. It is more like a structure. A massive, massive structure that is composed of a material that you've never picked up on sensors. The sensors appear to almost be bouncing off of it. So rather than actually picking up this structure, you are picking up the shape where space should be, but there's this massive structure that appears to be close to this Klingon bird of prey. And that structure itself, that energy that you picked up before, that appears to be the source of this unknown strange energy that you're picking up. Now, this is a new scene, so you do get 1 additional question as the chief science officer that you can ask me for free.
So the what we are picking up is, I don't know if this is my question, but we were picking up a vessel. Does that make it seem like the vessel is parked or, up against this structure? Is that what I'm picking up there?
You know what? That's not going to be your question, but I will answer that for you. It appears that the vessel is orbiting this structure in a very slow, close orbit.
Close by.
Close by. Yep.
Okay. And were we not able to pick up the structure before?
No, this is the first time you've picked up the structure.
Okay. Is that due to us being closer now?
Yep.
Okay.
Now you've asked me like 8 questions.
All right.
But
well, then we'll keep it. We'll keep
it simple.
we'll keep it there. I share that with Lieutenant Commander Pessett, and I say, well, I think we've found a bit more to go on for the captain.
Now,
Feel like we have, yes.
Now, what's interesting is that this energy source that you're picking up, it appears to be interacting with the warp bubble of your vessel. And the direction that the ship is heading, if the ship starts to veer off at a different angle, this energy source almost appears like a beam to reach out and grab onto the warp field. It's like it's interacting with it and pivot the ship so that it heads directly towards this void, this kind of area of space where this structure exists.
Our ship.
Correct, your ship. And so it appears like it's almost
pulling us in.
Pulling you in. Now, what's interesting, Commander Pessett, is that this reference to the Barge of the Dead, there was a creature known as a Kos Kalari that would try to lure souls off of the barge and into the void so that they would not ever actually reach hell but would be consumed by it. Very similar to the sirens in ancient Greek mythology.
Yeah, we definitely need to get to the captain with this.
It seems like the more we investigate this, the more danger we are
Agreed.
finding. All right, so let's get to the captain.
Very good. Very good. And moving back, now, Captain, would you be back on the bridge, or would you still be in your ready room analyzing some of the data?
Still going to be analyzing the data.
Perfect. Then I will quickly pivot you all back to the ready room, and both of you enter into his ready room where the captain is still looking at some ancient Klingon texts.
Gentlemen, I presume you found something.
To say the least.
Other than the fact that this location is, well, as Lieutenant Commander has found, is dangerous. We've also uncovered the fact that we are being pulled into this a structure that has this ship that we found before orbiting it.
Now, well, by structure, do you mean a real structure? Is it a spatial phenomenon? What do you mean by that?
It's hard to say. This is something of unusual and outside of my experiences.
Commander Pessett, thoughts?
I've I've never even heard of anything like this thing before. I also tell him about the mythological creature. I've already forgotten its name.
I can post it for you. I got you.
Yeah, it's supposed to lure people out uh, as a distraction. Like,
I know you Bajorans are quite spiritual, Commander, but I must say my faith in boogeymen is 0 at best.
well,
I
you don't have to
concur.
believe in spiritual things for them to be true.
And with that, Commander, your comm badge, it chirps. This is Chief Bradish here for the captain.
Go ahead.
Captain, is there this is going to sound like a staged question, but are we stuck in a tractor beam or something?
One moment.
That would be correct, sir.
Then I suppose, yes, we are. And he hits his comm badge. Helm, status update.
No response from the helm.
Engineering.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. We're getting like a power drain or something on the engines. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but ever since we've, and then the comms cut out.
Gentlemen, it appears we have been caught. Whatever trap has befallen our Klingon comrades. Computer, yellow alert.
The computer, it chirps, and then it doesn't respond.
Of course
And the
it does.
lights in your ready room flicker.
Look at the smirk on his face.
Captain, I guarantee this is science. This is some form of technology and not a mythological beast.
Yeah,
willing
you can
to bet
guarantee
on
whatever
that.
you want.
Passette, gather your men. We need to secure our power stations.
There is a
Give me a
thump.
direct line to engineering.
There's a thump, thump, thump on the door to your ready room from the bridge, and you can hear Commander Anton on the other side. Captain, can you hear me? We've lost power in the bridge, but we're still moving. It's hard to explain, sir. I'm
Come
having
through
trouble
the
getting the door
Jeffries
open.
tube number 1.
What's that?
Come through the Jeffries tube number 1.
Aye, aye, sir. And a few moments later, about a minute or two later, Commander Anton pops in through a panel in the wall and kind of steps in, and then once again the lights have dimmed, and then they go out and emergency lighting comes on.
We have emergency power, but we do not have access to the computer. Passette,
I can't.
try to gather as many of your team as you can and perform safety patrols. I need to make sure nobody has any sort of undue injury based on the power situation. And
I see.
direct all essential personnel to Jeffries tubes. Commander Kovar, get me a workaround with engineering. I need access to everything.
This is just, I guess, me understanding the ship. So without sensors and without any kind of radar kind of system, is there a way that we can actually like look out a window to see how far we
The
are?
main view screen, you can just, which is just literally like a giant glass window pretty much. You could look out the main view screen. Absolutely.
All right. I'd like to take a look at that first, and then I will start working on figuring out what is going on with the electronics and
So
the malfunctions.
managing to pry open the door from your ready room to the bridge, you're able to move back onto the bridge. And as you move onto the bridge, you see all the emergency lighting. The ensigns are struggling, trying to figure out what's going on. You've got Commander Anton retakes his seat. He's trying to get things up and running. Everything appears to be down. The ship itself, though, is still moving. But that hum of the warp engines that you hear, that hum of the warp engines has stopped. So however the ship is moving, it's not under warp power. You don't have that flow of, stars, etc., like you see in the Star Trek show. But as you step out onto the the bridge and you look through the main view screen, you see a perhaps a slightly disturbing sight. A massive, what appears to be space station with red striping, made of black, and surrounded by this kind of purple, almost river-like energy. And orbiting that space station, you see this, what appears to be derelict-looking bird of prey. And as the ship floats closer and closer to it, you can feel it ever so slightly pivot, and it takes on a orbit that is just opposite of the bird of prey and begins to slowly spin around the ship.
So we're not going to crash into this thing.
Does not appear so. But as that happens, we then pivot back to the medical bay, where the doctor, you were heading off, I believe, to your kind of office for a moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a
You
quick
hear
collation
a
of the material.
blood-curdling scream, and you hear your Ensign LeVar trying to calm down the good Lieutenant Junior grade. And as you, I assume, stand up and rush into the room, that is where we are going to take our quick 10 to 15 minute break. Everyone else, stick around. We'll be back here shortly. Thanks for watching.
Great.
And we are back. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. When we last left off, our intrepid adventurers, the Dauntless had been pulled by a strange energy source. Maybe a tractor beam, maybe a siren's call. We're not really sure yet, but hopefully we'll discover it, because, I mean, that's what space is all about, right? Like, discovering things. A Lieutenant Junior Grade Ensign had woken up and was screaming his head off, and that is actually where we are going to pick back up. We are going to go ahead and pick back up in the medical bay, in sick bay, with the good doctor rushing back into the medical bay here, the area with all the beds, and you see that Ensign LeVar is trying her best to hold down the Lieutenant Junior Grade Jenkins as he is shouting and screaming about, it's a demon, it has me, we're all going to die. His face is flushed red. He looks like he's almost lost it, is the best way to describe it. And Lieutenant LeVar is significantly stronger than him, so she's managing to keep him in bed. But as she looks back over her shoulder in a calm voice, she says, "Doctor, you asked me to inform you when the lieutenant was acting strange. I can positively say that he is not acting normal." And the lieutenant is, like, struggling against her.
Immediately he just goes, LeVar, start scanning. I'm going to work to wake him up. I'm hoping he would have, but would he have placed a way for him to wake up Jenkins, even through the sedative he gave?
I don't know, did you?
Well, I'd like to say that I would have, because
You want to give me a momentum, and then we can say that you did?
we're sitting on
Send it.
3.
Send it.
Send it. Full send. Done. Got it. Perfect. Okay. So yes, you did manage to create a, I guess, antidote for the sedative. You know, he's not going to go to sleep forever. He's just sleep until you give him the antidote. It's fine, right? That's science. That's medical science. Perfect. Now, as you go to give him this injection, this hypo spray, the lights in the medical bay dim. The entire room goes black for a moment, and a second later, the emergency lighting comes up along the floor, and the Lieutenant Junior Grade Jenkins, he's not in the bed anymore. You see Lieutenant LeVar is, like, pressing against the bed, and she brings her hands back. Curious.
Uh-oh.
Doctor, did you authorize a medical transport of the patient?
No, I did not, and I'm pretty sure this would not like this. You were holding him as he vanished. Did anything feel strange?
She looks down at her hands. I'm sure there is a logical explanation for this, but to describe the sensation, Doctor, he was simply there, and then he was not.
So, just as if he hadn't been in your hands at all.
Accurate, Doctor.
Okay. Dr. Fenn to Captain.
No response.
LeVar, did you get any? What kind of scans did you get?
Unfortunately, Doctor, I spent the last minute or two simply trying to restrain the patient. I was unable to get any direct scans of his physiology. Though perhaps the computer may have picked up something. She pivots over to the main monitor, the medical monitor, notices that it is powered down, and then turning back to you, unfortunately though, Doctor, it appears that our medical equipment is without power.
I'm gonna face LeVar. I'm just gonna be like, he was asleep. He was still screaming. Let's Vulcans got a way to stay awake for a while, don't you?
Yes, Doctor, our physiology is significantly more adept and evolved than both yours and human physiology.
Okay. Don't fall asleep.
I had no intention of going to sleep, Doctor.
Right. And he's going to head toward the doors and just going to be like, I'm going to go locate the captain. And he's going to head to the medbay doors and presume they don't open.
And unless you stop yourself, you may, not too hard, but you'll clunk into the door, expecting them to open, and they don't. Doctor, the doors will likely not be operational as we are operating on emergency power. The Jeffries tubes will likely be the most logical way to reconnect with the command crew.
He's going to attempt to follow the path through the Jeffries tube, which is the most direct path to the helm.
Perfect. And pivoting back to the bridge, we've got everyone back on the bridge. All the power is down. You can see on the main view screen this massive structure, and it's just ever so slightly, you're just ever so slightly a very stable orbit, just kind of orbiting around this structure. And you see. Now, looking at the structure, you notice that there are Klingon, I'm going to use the word hieroglyphics, but there are Klingon symbols and art and whatnot. Almost look like they are
for death and combat.
All of those things, and they're like burned and scratched and scarred into the side of this massive, slowly rotating vessel.
I have a question.
I have an answer. Maybe.
So this space station, is it clearly Klingon design, or is it clearly, because I see the red markings that dictates to my captain's logical Federation brain. When red markings are present on a vessel, it typically means Federation. Like the red striping?
So, it doesn't appear to be of Klingon make.
Alright, is everybody cool with me spending one momentum to
Go for it.
ask this question? Is this a Federation or Federation adjacent space station, like maybe even pre-Federation?
This appears to be pre-Federation.
But it's an Earth-made structure, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so Garcia is going to look at the bridge crew and go, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, we are orbiting a space station of which I have a model in my ready room. This is a classical pre-Federation, post-World War III Earth-made space station. This is not a boogeyman. He looks specifically at Chief of Security, but it is quite strange. Now, he walks over to the helm and politely grabs the helmsman by the shoulders and moves him, and he pops the button underneath the helm console to try to get manual control of the vessel.
And as you do so, your comm badge chirps.
Go ahead.
Captain, this is engine. Can you hear me, Captain? It's British. I'm trying to get comms back up.
Damn it, man! Stop yelling into your comm.
Captain! He just screams.
Yes, I can hear you.
Captain, I've managed to reroute emergency power to communications. Did you authorize a transport of crew members off the vessel, sir?
I did not. And he looks at Passette. Find out what's going on, Commander.
Okay. I'm gonna start trying to see if any of the sensors noticed anything.
So, sensors are still down right now. The only thing that's operational is communications, internal communications.
Okay. I will start communicating with various security teams throughout the
Department heads?
ship. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, transporter's part of operations, so that's your deal.
So as you begin to communicate with different department heads, you come to find out that roughly a third of the crew has vanished.
Shit. A third of the crew is missing and unaccounted for, Captain.
Need to know where. And then he hits his comm badge again. Engineering, try to get me reroute emergency power away from communications briefly. I need all power to engines. I'm going to try to break orbit manually. Make sure everybody stands by in crash positions.
You got it, Captain. Stand by. And about 60 seconds later, the helm station, it lights up, kind of flickers for a second, but you do have, I would call it tertiary power to the helm station.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt a control con, and we have 2 momentum, right?
That is correct. And at this point, because I haven't spent any threat, I am going to spend some threat.
To increase my complication range, aren't you?
No, I'm going to make things a little bit more interesting. As the captain goes to, well, navigate the ship away, you watch as he simply disappears before your eyes.
Damn
it. As he disappears, I pull my phaser. I'm like, what in the name of the prophets is going on this ship?
And as Commander Preset mentions what the hell is going on with the ship, he too disappears.
Am I there right now?
You are there, Commander Kovar.
I will kind of put my hands out, ready to go to hand-to-hand combat, and I move towards the area where Lieutenant Commander Pesset was, and swipe through the area.
Commander Anton stands up. What in the hell is happening? And as he says that, Commander Kovar, you too disappear. And as we reemerge on a new scene, you find yourselves standing, all of you, including the good doctor, you find yourselves standing in what appears to be an ancient Earth space station airlock. And I'm actually going to pivot you guys over to a different sheet here in just a moment. Let's see, where did I put that? Wow, worst game master ever. There it is. Boop. And skadoosh. Seriously, screw that guy. He's awful. I don't like him at all. And let me just pivot you guys over here. Make sure everyone at home can see. And I'm going to ping you guys over to this section right here. And we have Pharaoh. We have Garcia. We have Stephen. And we have Preset.
I like to think that Captain Garcia is comically still in a sitting position briefly before he falls.
Before he collumps to the ground.
Yes.
And of course, Dr. Fenn is probably either up, trying to climb a ladder.
You're trying to climb,
and
you just clump down to the ground. Yeah. And you find yourselves standing in a...
Do I still have my phaser?
You do. You do have your phaser.
Then I'm happy.
You're happy. That is brilliant.
I come out doing this karate chop in midair, remember?
But I'm just remembering that TOS Vulcan martial arts.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you all regain your sense of position, space, etc., you take a moment to analyze the area around you. You find that you are again standing in this old, almost slightly rusted, I would even call it dusty kind of airlock, and carved into the metal plates of this airlock. Behind you, you can see just the void of space behind you, and actually you see the Klingon bird of prey, a good distance off, ever so slightly, moving around, and you see these Klingon symbols of war and death, dishonor, etc. But you're standing in an airlock. What would you like to do?
Garcia is going to look at Kovar and go, Commander Kovar, tricorder, get me a position as he dusts himself off, and he's going to look back at the security chief. Commander Pesset, get this damned airlock door open, and Doctor, stand by in case something terrible happens.
Okay. I'll pull out my tricorder and start trying to get a handle on what's like going on electronically in the locking system for the airlock.
So the airlock is like basic old Earth style airlock. I mean, your tricorder could open this thing without even having to make a roll. Like it is super simple.
Okay. It's gonna be tricky, Captain. Hold on. Let me see. I learned this from my my uncle who was in the camps. Hold on, and he just flips the little switch and makes it look as difficult as he possibly can.
Yes.
Commander Kovar, as the Commander Preset is opening the airlock, I'd like you to, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you notice that these symbols, these Klingon writing on the walls, it appears to be, now your Klingon's a little rusty maybe, but it appears to be the same phrase written over and over and over again. Some of it has been burned as though it was from a phaser. Some of it has been carved into the wall, but it's just this phrase again and again and again, and it's Du Tilth Yen E Mi Naga Balath. And if you want to go ahead and give us a insight and science, you can actually try to translate that.
I do have two of my focuses are in linguistics and investigative techniques.
I would say, yeah, you definitely have a focus then. And you're also sitting on, I believe, 2 momentum right now as well.
I had 3.
Oh, yeah, actually, you have 5 momentum then. So, yeah, you're sitting pretty right now in momentum.
Use it.
It's what you're trying to steal this from my hand. It says.
Yeah, I'll take care of the momentum. Just makes it easier because I can drag and drop it.
All right.
Gimme.
All of it. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. No worries.
All right.
Now, do you want to spend any momentum on this roll?
You said insight science.
Yep, and difficulty on this is going to be a 3.
Sure, I'll use 1.
That would be 3d20 then. Perfect.
Insight science 3. All right. There we go.
So you are currently succeeding, which is fantastic.
Nice. Good.
So as you translate this, you read the phrase once, then twice, and the phrase simply is a question. It's actually a question. It says, "Do you live and die with honor?"
I start repeating that out loud, just very monotonously, until somebody pokes me or asks me what I'm talking about.
Kovar, share with the class.
And I point to the walls with like 2 fingers and I say, it's everywhere. Someone has written this throughout the interior here.
And what would an educated guess tell you that it is meant to pose?
Insanity is my best guess.
Doctor, you may not be a psychologist, but I'm assuming maybe you could chime in here.
Well, we've mentioned Gre'Thor, Jenkins, before he disappeared, mentioned a demon and likely was referring back to his descriptions of the Guardians. If this is in, since this is Klingon, it's influenced by Klingons. So if they thought this was Gre'Thor, then this is probably a reminder to themselves. Whether or not it's real or not, this is their belief. And so they would have followed through.
Phasers at the ready, gentlemen. Commander Bissett, open the door.
Are we not going to talk about how we were forced off of our ship and onto this vessel?
Well, that's actually why I was trying to find the captain. Jenkins vanished, screaming about a demon going to get him.
I do not believe in demons, but I've seen a thing or two around Starfleet, and I know that this usually means something very awful is about to happen.
Yeah.
Someone or something has pulled us off of our ship.
I mean, I believe in demons, but I'm pretty sure various descriptions of demons can coincide with other beings. So if they're a threat, we need to recover our crewmate.
Correct. Now, as I said, phasers and gentlemen, and Bissett, open the door. We'll see what awaits
Bissett,
us.
hides behind the side of the door, phaser at the ready, and flips the switch.
I'm going to move you guys over to a sort of more of a theater of the mind style thing here. And this is just to give you an idea of what the interior of the ship looks like. Again, it is ancient. It doesn't have that sleek, streamlined, very crisp looking walls, the carpet that you see on some of those Starfleet vessels. The flooring is grated. There are lights underneath it. There's that clank, clank, clank as you walk along the halls and then the walls of this station. But as you open up, the first thing that hits you is the smell of, it smells like iron mixed with this kind of sulfurous kind of smell. And the interior of this vessel is very, very warm. It's probably close to 90, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So as soon as you open the door, you have this airlock that you're in. It's pretty moderate temperature, but as soon as you open it, there's this rush. And as that heat hits you, you can feel almost instantaneously, all of you would feel this kind of sticky sensation as your bodies react to it very quickly. And then again, there's a smell of iron, and the air itself is slightly hazy. There's almost this slowly kind of rising mist or smoke that just ever so slightly clings to the floor. Somewhere in the distance, you've opened up into what appears to be a massively large kind of open chamber interior of this station. But somewhere in the distance, you hear a cry that sounds like the cry of either battle or just someone that's protesting, like a cry of defiance. And it echoes through the ship, kind of dully thudding off the walls as it gets to you.
Doctor, is this toxic?
I'll scan it right now.
I won't make you roll for it. It doesn't appear to be toxic. It actually appears to be water vapor.
Do I get anything with my focus in botany?
If you want to make a check, and what would you be checking for?
Is this something that is nature based? Is there something growing here? Is this
Reason science, difficulty of 2.
I'd like to ask, the appearance of the inside of the station.
Mhm.
How familiar is it based on the description that Jenkins gave?
Dead accurate description of what he described to you. 100% the same hallway, same look. You can see that faint red glow off in the distance. This is like, it's literally like you stepped into his description. Kovar, that is enough to recognize that this appears to be, it appears to be, I guess I would say natural, but it's not nature-based. It looks to be like maybe someone, like, hit a water line, and the water dribbled onto the floor, but because it's so hot, it's starting to kind of steam up. And, but yeah, you're not picking up any sort of like nature or, like, it's just water vapor. Just water vapor
Okay.
that's been heated, and it's just like a mist on the floor, yeah.
I sense no immediate danger. We should move forward, but be cautious. Something waits us.
Jenkins was describing beings coming from red lights. So, if any red lights start appearing to be massive enough, should probably shoot to stun. For now, at least, to avoid any injuries.
Noted, Doctor. Kovar and Set lead the way. And then Garcia is going to go ahead and hit his comm badge. Captain Garcia to the Dauntless,
No response.
of course.
Yeah, you think I make it that easy for you, Jesse? Come on, man. What do you take me for? Some kind of like nice GMs? But oh yeah, you got comms back. All the power's good. They can just teleport you right out, transport you right out. It's gonna be fine.
Honestly, I thought what Garcia was going to try to do was slingshot us around the station.
That could have been sweet. Sure, been nice if the game master let you do that.
That was sort of gonna be the plan, to be quite honest with you. That's what I was thinking. It was.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so as you start to move forward into the area proper, you get about 30 feet into this large hallway, almost I would hesitate to call it a chamber. And as you enter down into the chamber, again, the floor is giving that creak, ting, ting, ting. And you see that the floor is rusted in some spots, so you want to be careful where you're stepping. The grates may even give way, depending on how quickly you move. But as you get about 30 feet down the hallway, just out of the hallway, there's a T intersection, and there's a faint red glow. But you notice a shape. It looks to be a person slumped down against the right side of the hallway, and their left hand comes up ever so slightly, and comes back down, touches their stomach, brings it back up, looks down, and they kind of slump forward as this happens.
With the hands, Garcia taps the doctor on the shoulder and gives him a hand signal to go forward, and then looks at the other two and aims his phaser at the thing in case it's hostile in some way.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor would have run the moment he saw that. He would run towards it. Yes.
As you get close enough, you do see the yellow uniform of a Starfleet engineer. And as you get close, you see that it is it looks to be an ensign, and it's actually a Klingon ensign. And the front of her uniform has been ripped open, and she has deep, deep cuts and scratches into the front of her, almost as though they were made by a claw or some sort of sharp 3-bladed weapon. But based on your quick cursory glance, it does appear to have been made by a claw. Is the best way I describe it.
I'm scanning her. Is she still alive?
Go ahead, and I will make you roll for this. She is alive. She is alive, okay. Yes.
I will attempt to start stabilizing her. I mean,
This is going to be a check. This is going to be a control in medicine. Difficulty on this is normally going to be a 2, but because I have all this threat saved up, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to spend 2 threat. I'm actually going to go ahead and increase the difficulty to a 3. And your complication range to a 19 to 20.
I have a
Okay.
question real quick. Would that be considered using the direct action?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Another?
absolutely. Yep. If you want to use your commander's ability, absolutely. Mhm.
Yes. I'm going to use the direct action and trying to remember what that does because I've never used it. I believe so. It's not call to action. Oh, I guess I could say I assisted them with.
Yeah, you can make an assist.
discipline.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have advisors, so whenever you assist another character using your command, discipline the character being assist may reroll 1d20. So I'm going to make
So you can roll
presence command.
1d20. That's nice.
All right, so let me do my presence command here.
Go for it.
okay. So you said I was rolling what again?
You're going to be rolling a
The-
control medicine.
And I'm assuming I have a focus, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. Nice. There's one success from the captain.
Okay. So we're sitting on 5 momentum.
Hmm.
Did you give us a difficulty?
Difficulty on this is currently a 3 with a complication range of 19 to 20.
Use
Okay.
another
I'm
one.
going to spend 1 momentum.
Hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
Give me 3 dice total.
Nice.
I would probably say emergency medicine should count.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100% of the
Okay.
focus. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Dr. Steven.
So,
What do we got?
oof.
Ooh, reroll that 0. You can reroll the 0.
Yeah,
You are succeeding with his assist, but you
Yep,
can reroll that 0 if you want to.
I could re-roll the 0 2 different ways.
Give yourself some extra momentum if you want it.
Yeah. Medicine. 1. On.
Beautiful. That actually gets your momentum right back. So you're back up to 5 momentum, which is perfect. And you very quickly you get to right next to her, this Klingon female. You quickly not cauterize, but you have like a spray that fills the wound and protects it. And you give her an injection, a hypospray injection. She very quickly regains consciousness and then grabs onto your forearm that is trying to, close up the wounds with this medical spray. And she attempts to kind of pull your hand back. She says, No, I have fought, and I have been defeated. I do not deserve. I go now to Gre'Thor. I go now to Gre'Thor.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, Ensign, this is a bigger battle than you think than you think. We are missing at least, or actually no, we are missing at least 1 other crew member. This is not a place to stand and die. This is to lay down and die. This is a place to stand and fight.
I have fought, and I have been defeated. I have fought, and I am dishonored.
So regain that honor. And
Give me a presence medicine with and you have composure, right?
Yes.
I would give you a focus. Difficulty on this is going to be a 4.
So presence medicine.
Try to talk some sense into the.
I'm trying
the
to hype this Klingon up.
battle.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely do another momentum spend. And yes. Yeah. Just gonna do the momentum spend, put the focus. Re-rolling.
Okay.
Gotta hope that I can get this one.
Fingers crossed.
Nope.
Oh!
So I got half of them.
Go.
Can I assist with Presence Command?
Absolutely. If you get up close enough, yeah, you absolutely can.
All right,
And
so
while this is
he's
going
gonna walk-
on, Commander Kovar, I want you to go ahead and give a control and science check. You do have sensor use, it's scanning. And I want you to go ahead, you would get, oh, damn. So, but go ahead and give us a control and science. See if you pick something up. And Commander Perset, if you want to assist, because I'm assuming you've got your tricorder out, your phaser ready.
Yeah.
Making sure nothing else. Yeah. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Go ahead and make your assist roll. That'd be control security. Control security for you.
Control, security, submit. Do I have a focus for that?
What are your focuses? You have survival, right?
I do have survival.
I'm gonna give you the survival as a focus. Absolutely.
Survival and composure.
Yes, absolutely. You do have that for sure.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
So you're both succeeding, and it's actually going to net you back a little bit of momentum as well. So you
go,
both
bud?
simultaneously pick up 3 life signs. They read as Klingon, but not 100% Klingon. There are elements of Klingon physiology in these scans, and they are rapidly moving towards you. Pivoting back to the Klingon ensign that you're trying to hype up, she narrows her eyes at the good doctor, looks over at the captain, and then reaching down to her belt, or excuse me, to her side, you see that there is a dagger, a Klingon dagger that she pulls up, plunges into her stomach, and then slumps forward.
Hardcore.
Captain just kind of looks away and looks at the ceiling and grits his teeth.
And as the captain looks away and looks towards the ceiling, Doctor, you remember that description that Jenkins gave to you? The light, the red light at that T intersection grows brighter and brighter and brighter. And simultaneously in your minds, you all hear a almost playful voice. Curious. Let's see how you fight, and if it is indeed with honor. And rounding the corner are 3 demonic-looking Klingon monsters. They have these long, visceral-looking claws, and they let out these low growls. And we're going to go ahead and go into initiative. All right. Now, combat is actually really fun in Star Trek Adventures. The way that it works is it always starts with the players, and you don't actually roll for it, and it's kind of like a back and forth sort of interaction. So players get to go first, then the bad guys get to go, then we go back to the players, and once per scene you can actually do a these low growls. I'm just gonna leave it there till next week. That's funny. You're the bee's knees, Elrath. I appreciate you. But as so this goes back and forth. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and you guys get to determine which of you wants to go first. Any of you can go. You just discuss with you what you want to do. Now these monsters, these Klingon demons, are about 30 feet down the hallway. You're about halfway down next to this aforementioned Klingon ensign that appears to be dead at this point, and they have rounded the corner, let out their low growls, and they're preparing to charge you.
All right, so whoever goes first, I have call out targets, so I'll read that to everybody. Upon assisting a character making an attack using either assist or direct or some other means, the helped character generates 1 point of bonus momentum. If they succeed, bonus momentum cannot be saved, so you have to use it at the time.
So you can use it to overcome resistances, roll extra combat dice, things like that. Yeah.
My vote is the security chief.
Yeah, I was about to say I have hold on. I have a couple of talents and values that would make me want to do this first.
Yep, pack tactics.
I don't. I have so I have the talent of bold security, and I'm tough, and I've got supervisor too. And then I have the focus of hand-to-hand combat and hand phasers.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of my values is first through the door and no one left behind. So like both of them. So like I would jump straight up.
Perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna roll my command and presence, I believe, to
Mhm.
give you that
Okay.
assist. And I am going to shout, "Get the one in the middle." And let's go here.
Does fitness come into combat at all?
It can.
It can. Yeah, absolutely. So that's
Alright,
giving you one
so-
success. So normally to hit, it's just a difficulty of 2. And you're going to go ahead and roll a control. Oh, no. Not control. I'm having a mental block right now. You're going to roll a. It is daring.
Security?
Daring and security. Daring and security. I'm assuming you're firing with your phaser?
And you get that floating momentum. So
Yep.
Is it daring and security for melee, and it says
No,
control and
fitness
security?
is probably-
yeah, fitness
I believe,
security
melee.
is melee. Yep.
Okay.
So you can use that as you wish.
I'm trying to find
Which talent are you looking for? I have the
uh
spreadsheet.
bold. I have it open too, but I can't find it. Bold security.
Okay, so I'll
if you
read the
give me
description.
a threat to roll extra die, you can then re-roll one of your rolls when you do it. So you'd have to give me threat, which I could then spend against you, but that's entirely up to you. Do it. Risk it to get the biscuit. Let's go.
We're gonna wait until next. We're gonna see if we need it first.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. So I guess this is gonna be like a daring and security.
Okay.
Get that 3 dice.
You can spend the momentum that the captain gave you.
Okay.
You
and-
you actually have to spend
You
it
have
on
to,
something.
Yeah. All right. So daring and security. Submit 3d20. Submit. Focus. Yes. Submit.
Ooh, success but with a complication. Success but with a complication. I like it.
Don't
Okay.
you have bold though?
Yeah,
He
you
did
can
not give
roll.
me threat though.
Oh,
He did
yeah.
not give me threat, so we can't
Oh,
reroll it,
I thought it was-
unfortunately. Yes. All right. So here's what happens. You lance that with your phaser. I'm assuming you had it to kill. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You're going to go ahead and you're going to roll 6 challenge dice. Now, at the bottom of your screen, there should be a challenge dice button. If you go ahead and click that, it's going to ask you how many challenge dice you're rolling.
Hold on. Now there are challenge dice buttons. You said 6?
Go ahead and roll 6.
Shiza.
Oh!
Whoa,
Damn!
Big.
Okay.
Big.
Big money, no whammies. So you lance out with your phaser. You set it to, I'm assuming, to kill. And as the phaser lances out, it strikes this Klingon demon in the center, and it just completely disintegrates. That voice that asked if you fight with honor says, "Ooh, how exciting." And the voice itself appears, or sounds at least, kind of feminine and almost playful is the voice that you hear. But that one in the middle is gone. The complication, however, is that your phaser overheats, overcharges, and shuts off in your hand. So it is no
course it
longer
does.
functional. Next up is going to be one of the Klingon demons. And we're going to go to the one on the right, who is going to very quickly charge down the hallway, almost leaping at the captain. And captain, in your mind, you hear this feminine voice again. How nimble are you, Captain? Are you nimble enough to dodge your fate? And this demonic monster lunges towards you. And I'm going to go ahead and roll for it. 2d20. All right, that is 18 and an 18. That is a miss. It swipes at you with this claw, and Commander Garcia, you're able to just, woof, pivot back, and it swipes into the air where you were standing, and we are actually back to the players. Go ahead, and who wants to go next?
I'd like to go next, actually.
Perfect.
So to build this up a bit, he's pissed.
Oh.
He just lost a patient. He just lost a member of the crew. People that are supposed to be his duty to keep alive, to heal. And I'd like to grab the dagger and fall back on a focus from a previous host.
Okay, I love it.
And attack the one that just attacked the captain.
I love it. So rolling forward, you have these memories of martial prowess flow through your mind. You feel like just extremely focused, like frickin' jujitsu. And you just you roll over, grab the dagger, and lunge towards this creature, trying to stab it in the kidney. Go ahead and roll a fitness and security. Difficulty to hit is just a 2. And you do have 5 momentum right now if you want to spend
use
some.
that momentum.
Yeah.
Use that momentum.
So fitness, security. I'll spend 1, and I have a focus. And what the hell?
No! Oh no! Oh, that is a miss. If you want, so at this point, really your options would be you could spend them. Well, no, you can't spend the momentum. So you could spend your daring to re-roll those 2d20 if you want.
My daring?
Not daring. I'm sorry. Your why am I having a mental block?
Determination.
Determination. That's the one. Thank you. Woo! Determination.
Okay. So that's based on the values, right?
Yes, you'd have to call upon a value and say, "Hey, I'm going to call
Reliant
upon
on past
this
knowledge.
value." What's that?
Reliant on past knowledge.
Perfect. That's a perfect determination spent. Absolutely perfect.
Honestly, I feel like I probably should have done that before just because of that. Okay, so what does that do? Let's
honestly, if you just want to spend that determination and say you succeed, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, because
Dunsky. Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead with the Klingon dagger. That's just simply going to be 4 challenge dice. However,
Okay.
it does have vicious 2. So if any of your rolls roll with an effect, you actually deal an additional 2 damage with the attack. So go ahead and roll those challenge dice, and let's see what you get.
Okay, so it's 4.
Mm-hmm. Nice! So that is 5 damage, plus you got an effect, which is 7 damage. You roll forward, landing, grabbing the dagger, and in one swift motion, you pivot back, stabbing it in the side. The creature lets out a roar of pain. It doesn't quite drop, though, but it looks to be incredibly wounded. And in your mind, you hear that feminine, playful voice again. Unexpected, but highly entertaining. And next up is the other creature who sees a particular Vulcan that looks like he probably wants to be clawed. So it's going to rush up to the good science officer, Kovar, and it's going to go ahead and try to swipe at him. That's going to be 2d20 from the monster, and that is 16 and a 13, which is only 1 success. So unfortunately, this monster, Kovar, you saw it coming. You just kind of like step back. Creature swipes. These things seem more bestial and feral. There's really not a lot of tactics or focus from them, and they're just swiping wildly, and your Federation and Vulcan training in combat very easily dodge it. So we are back to the players. Who wants to go
What do they
next?
have to roll to hit?
They have to roll 2, and their target DC is a 13. So they rolled a 16 and a 13, so they actually end up missing.
I think I'm the only one who hasn't gone yet, right?
The captain hasn't actually gone.
Not well. I'll let him go because
Perfect.
I made the captain more of a support character anyways.
Perfect.
So fucking nerve pinch this asshole.
Yeah, that's probably my best ability. So yeah, I will. He goes to claw at me as he lunges forward. I have the phaser in my right hand, but I kind of grab up and kind of go for it, kind of like the armpit, like chest area there, and I point kind of like 2 fingers and jab in very quickly.
Ooh, very nice. Let's go ahead and make a fitness security check, difficulty of 2. You do have 5 momentum if you want to spend some for bonus dice.
Dude, just smack 2 or 3 momentum in there and just get that.
40-20?
Yeah,
So-
dude.
Not a bad idea.
So fitness security, you said?
And if you spend 3 momentum, you'd roll 40-20.
So fitness security. So my nerve pinch says that I can use science or medicine instead of security when attempting a nerve pinch.
Done. Perfect.
And if it's fitness as well, I have, which I was looking up earlier, I have augmented ability fitness. So I guess I automatically get 1 success.
Yes, that is correct, but it does increase the complication range.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Complication range by 2 for that task.
Perfect. So you're rolling 40-20, and you automatically have one success. Brilliant.
Okay, so
Fuck him up, Spock.
So fitness science, right? Yes, science. Oop, come on.
You got this.
4d20.
I believe.
Submit. Focus. No, right?
What are your focuses?
Nothing hand to hand or
No
anything
problem.
here.
No focus. Roll it blind. Let's go. Oh, no!
I mean,
Oh, technically it's a success, but that's a lot of complications. All right.
Oh.
So you've got some options. You could spend your determination to reroll those 2 complications, or you could just take the complications because the dice have a story to tell and keep it interesting.
I'll use my veteran ability. So
So you spend the determination. Go ahead and roll 2d20, which would be fitness and science. And then once that's rolled, you'll roll a challenge die. And if you get a with effect,
fitness.
Go ahead.
Fitness with science. 2 more.
I can't believe you rolled 2
submit.
20s.
And no focus. All right, so there's 1 there.
Okay, you're good. You're good. No complications, and that
Did I
actually
get my
puts you
determination back?
on. And now you'd roll a challenge die, and if you
Okay.
roll an effect, you get your termination back. So just 1
Okay.
challenge die.
Where is that?
Should be on the bottom. If you have the macro toolbar selected, you'd have to go to the 3 little bars next
don't.
to the gear. Click on Show Macro Bar. And then you just click on the Challenge Dice button.
Oh, shown there. Okay.
And then when it asks you how many dice, just select 1.
1. Okay.
Submit. Ooh, no, you didn't roll a effect, so you don't get your determination back, but that is a success. And does the nerve pinch give you a particular amount of damage that you would deal on that?
I'm not. So is that the number that's next to?
Unarmed strike.
Well, it says nerve pinch, and then it says over on the right side it says 6.
Okay, perfect. Roll 6 challenge dice. Let's see how much damage
Is
you
that
deal.
what that is?
Yeah.
It says.
I
And
believe.
may increase damage by your science or medicine. Yep. So that's it. That's 6.
Damn, that's
Right.
good.
Damn, that's a fucking monstrous hit.
That is a monster hit.
All right,
Roll it
so
up.
6.
Yep. Oh, damn. Okay.
That's
Okay.
like that. That's literally like the phaser damage.
That's intense. So, Commander Kovar, you like dodge this thing swipes. It's wildly just swipe, and you're just, stone cold face moving back and forth, and then you see your opening and simply go straight for the neck, pinch, and the creature drops to the ground unconscious.
So what are the numbers you can roll? I see it says 2, 1, 2, 0, 1. Is it ones, two, zeros, ones, and twos?
Yes, and then you can roll ones and twos plus effect, and effects can
Okay.
sometimes have additional abilities, like they can have effects like vicious, gives extra damage. There's piercing. There's a couple of different conditions that it can have. But for your purposes, 8 was enough to drop it, and it's on the floor. And in your mind, you hear that playful feminine voice again, and she says, "How exciting." And we are back to the monsters, which there's only one left, and it doesn't like a particular doctor because the doctor just stabbed him.
Yeah, so I did send you a message.
You did. Let me go ahead and look that up. And question is 4, 5 plus 4, 9. It was Vicious 2. It was
You
Vicious
said
2.
it's 2. Okay.
Yeah, Vicious 2.
So-
Yep, thank you.
For some reason, I heard 4. I was just like, ugh.
I wish. Oh, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
It's just 4. Was it a
Yeah,
bat
but
left?
the creature is going to pivot back and attempt to
Okay.
claw at the good doctor. And because I've got some threat that I haven't spent, I'm going to spend 1 to let this creature roll 3d20. And let's see if it can get some hits. That is a 19, a 10, and a 17. It still misses you. You're training this ancient, old, past life that you have. You are just nimbly dodging back and forth, and it is just swinging wildly. And we are now back to the top, so we reset. It is now the player's turn, and who wants to go first?
Right. Since I haven't gone, I guess I will take my action here, and I am going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot this thing. So daring and security. Let me check my talents real fast. No, I don't have anything cool. So daring, security, and do I have a focus? Would we count team dynamics or lead by example for this?
Sure. I'll give it to
Sure.
you.
Okay.
I've been so mean. I've turned off your ship's power. I've
Alright,
teleported you
alright.
to this old
And
evil space station.
So I have pretty terrible like security. Is everybody cool with me using a momentum?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Perfect.
So, focus, and he's going to get the one that went for the doctor, and he's just gonna, since it's really close to him, he's just going to like point his phaser at the back of his head. Now let's see what we got here.
Boom. Two successes. Go ahead and roll that. Sweet phaser damage. 6 challenge dice.
Roll that beautiful bean
6.
footage.
Boom.
7.
And the
And
creature. Did
2
you have
effects.
to stun, kill?
It's on
3
kill
effects.
now.
It's on kill. So before your eyes, good doctor, you watch as this creature just disintegrates before you in the classic Star Trek action as it just disappears before you. And as that happens...
So 2 of them disintegrated, but the one that I did
Oh,
non-lethal
that
to,
one
did he-
is still up. Yes, thank you. Let me go ahead and
Um,
undo that. That one is
Well,
still
no,
is on the
he got
ground.
nerve pinched.
Nerve pinch. He's
Yeah.
down on the floor, but he is not disintegrated. Yes, that one is on the floor.
The captain's going to look at the doctor, analyze him now, try to get a sedative.
The doctor just starts scanning.
So you are scanning this demon. And go ahead and give a insight and medicine. Difficulty of 3.
Insight, medicine.
Can we count advisor for this?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and roll a presence command.
Yeah, I'm gonna presume that xenobiology definitely kicks in. on
100%.
this.
All right, and now you get a free momentum. So
Okay. I will spend that momentum for an extra die.
Righteous.
And so that's this.
oh, big roll.
Oh,
Nice.
mama! All right,
Yes.
so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 successes. That is a great roll, which nets you 2 momentum back. absolutely fantastic. And as you begin your scan, you recognize that this appears to be a Klingon that has been genetically modified or altered to be more. It's almost like it's devolved, like this Klingon has been devolved into more bestial, ancient form of a Klingon. But for all intents and purposes, it seems to be, healthy, other than it being nerve pinched and unconscious. But it is like a devolved form of Klingon, is what you're picking up. And as that happens, you guys know that like whoop noise that you hear sometimes when a particular species shows up? Appearing before you is what looks to be a Romulan female, but she appears in a flash of white light. Her arms are crossed, and she looks quite perturbed and annoyed with you. Boring and... just boring! It wasn't supposed to be so easy!
Who are you?
I have my phaser trained on her, and who are you?
I am Q. Well, one of the Qs. The daughter of Q? Well, I think we need to go for round 2.
I look over at the captain.
It's complicated. Your simple organic minds would not understand the.
I have. Hold on. I have an interjection before she gets it too far.
Please.
You said this was too short. You have 4 men. What did you expect?
Humor. Humor. Give me a presence and medicine.
Oh God.
Difficulty on this. Normally the max difficulty is a 5. I'm going to spend some threat. I'm going to make this a difficulty 6.
Okay.
If anybody wants to assist, you can.
I'm gonna
assist.
I'm gonna spend our 3 momentum to get 4 dice total.
I like it.
What is it? What's the roll?
Presence command.
And actually, if everyone wants to assist, you're total. Normally only one person. I'm totally good. If everybody wants to assist to try to talk down this queue, you're welcome to do so.
I'll tell you from experience, we're all going to have to.
That's one success.
Hold on. I just realized I have untapped potential. What does that do exactly? I've never actually seen it used.
So every time you spend a momentum, you roll a challenge dice, and if you get a effect, you actually get the momentum back.
Well, that's quite a few momentums we might have gotten back.
True.
Okay,
Why don't you go ahead and roll it 3 times? Let's see what happens. Maybe you'll have some extra momentum you can spend.
Roll it 3 times.
Yep, go ahead and roll
just
3 times. Roll
just
three.
challenge
Roll
dice?
3 challenge dice. Let's see if you get any effects.
So just 3 straight, right?
Correct. One effect,
One
so you
effect.
actually have an extra momentum.
All right. Well. All right. So you said presence medicine for mine, right?
Correct.
Okay. Presence medicine. And I was spending 3 of our original.
Does anybody else want to assist?
Yeah, this is a stretch, but can I use my strong paw talent?
What does that do?
Whenever you attempt a task to resist being coerced or threatened, you reduce the difficulty of that task by 1.
Yes, difficulty's down to 5. Now, everyone other than the doctor is going to be
That's my
rolling
faith in the prophets, baby.
1 challenge die if you want to assist. There's 2 successes. We only need 3 more.
So what do I need to roll?
You could roll a presence in science. Just to maybe give a logical argument about why.
Diplomacy focus.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Present science.
Yep.
1 die, 2 die.
1 die as an assist. Yep. We only need 3 more successes. We're rolling right now, guys.
no
You guys are doing great.
focus. There you go.
Oh! We only need 2 more! Oh, man, you
Oh,
rolled,
God.
what, 4 die? I think this is going
I'm
to go
rolling
well.
4
I think you got
dice.
this. Oh, no!
And
Oh,
I can re-roll one.
you can, because of the captain, right? Yeah.
No, because
You can
myself.
reroll
Because
two
yourself,
of
that's
them.
right.
You can
Go ahead
reroll
and roll,
two
roll
of
the
them.
complication, because you're succeeding right now.
Well, no, with advisor he can reroll 2.
You want to just...
If we stack, can we stack those?
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't know.
absolutely. If you
What
want
are
to
the
reroll
rules?
both the zeros, yeah, you can
Okay.
reroll both.
I'll re-roll both zeros.
Perfect.
What the hell?
All right, so
Hey,
there's
no,
going to be a
we-
complication. There's
But
going to
we
be a
made it.
complication, but you're super succeeding, and if by my count, you're also getting back 3 momentum. So, let's assume you're succeeding, and you're maybe, I believe you're trying to talk her down. As she's crossing her arms, she looks perturbed, she's tapping her foot, and she's like, maybe we should go for round 2. What does the doctor say?
Oh my god, I have no clue. Ah.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
She wants round 2. She says this was boring and it was over too fast. I attempted to levy to insert some humor in the
It appeared to
Yeah.
almost work.
okay.
It appeared to almost work. So if you want to lean back into the humor, perhaps you can.
Okay. You want a round 2. Would you feel better if it was let's see. No, that really wouldn't work.
Just go with it. Go with your gut. Just run with it. Don't overthink it.
Why are you not entertained?
Oh!
I was a doctor who just attempted to take a life. I lost a patient. And we're still missing our crew.
Her eyes that were slightly narrowed, this perturbed look on her face softens into a very small grin. Interesting. Interesting and curious. Defiance in the face of, or perhaps acceptance. Dr. Steven, you are funny. It's been a while since a mere mortal made me laugh, and she hasn't laughed yet, but there is a smile on her face. She snaps her finger. You have your crew back. But she lets out a little bit of a sigh. I'd like one more challenge. Do you accept?
She's asking Stephen directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have my agreement.
You have lost a life. You have taken a life. Would you be willing to give a life?
He steps forward.
I step forward.
If, so Stephen steps forward if that's what is needed.
Here's my offer. You for the rest of your crew.
Let's do this, Doctor.
he holds the dagger that he took from the Klingon, and he's just like, agreed.
And she gestures to the dagger and gestures to you.
Mm-hmm. And he stabs himself.
As you go to stab yourself, there is that cue-like whoop noise, and you find yourself standing back in the medical bay. The rest of you find yourselves standing back at your particular stations. And as you look out at the base that you saw before you, you watch as the base begins to spin faster and faster. And there is a bright flash of light as the base and the bird of prey disappears before you. In your mind, good doctor, you hear that voice again. Thank you for entertaining me. And as we pan back away from the vessel, we watch as the Miranda class, the glow of the engines begin to kind of glow back, like the power's returning to them. All of the stations start to power back up. And that, my friends, is where we will end 2 tickets to Gre'Thor.
Oh, dude. All right. I need to give you guys some backstory. That particular queue made an entire fucking universe for us where everything was awful just to prove a stupid fucking point. Like, we can't, like, literally shotgunned us into a different, like, into nowhere space, brought us back to a universe that was completely different than the one we had left, just to prove a point because she was bored.
She's still
Sounds
bored,
like
by
a
the way.
queue.
So that was a little bit of an Easter egg for Jesse. That queue in a long-running campaign, Star Trek Valhalla, that I ran, was a queue that fucked with that crew, excuse my language, like, throughout the entire series. And it was a little bit of an Easter egg for him.
As soon as he said a female playful voice, I was like, I already know who this is.
Yeah, you messaged me on the side. You were like, God
I
damn it.
messaged him because I was like, I know who this is.
That's
I already
awesome.
So, did the female Klingon get revived, or was she dead?
Yes, she was back and revived. Yeah, you actually didn't lose anybody. Yeah.
No,
but-
see, I'm thinking that he's probably still going to keep that dagger because he's not letting that thing go right now.
I knew
Absolutely.
you were gonna do something crazy like this. I just knew it.
You think I'd just be normal, be like, oh, it's just a
never
regular
as simple
anomaly.
as a regular crazy alternate universe Klingon vessel that's loaded with primitive Klingons. No, it's never that.
Oh man, that's too funny. Well, to all of the viewers that stopped in, I know we had some guys stop in, kind of jump off, but to everyone that watched, I just want to say thank you. To the players, I want to say thank you very much. I know we've seen Chewbacca before, Umbral Dagger, this is your first time, Jesse, this is your first time, and Cord the Destroyer, this is your first time. Quick little shout out to Cord the Destroyer. I am going to be running a Rise of the Rune Lord stream, and Cord is actually going to be one of the players in that. And that's going to be replacing our Saturday night D&D 5e game here, likely about the end of February. But I am also
you can
looking
count me
to
watching that. I'm watching that.
Dude, I'd love to have you watch. We really appreciate the support.
I wish I could play,
Don't forget
but I have
to
my game already.
like, subscribe, follow. I don't know, whatever the people say. But I do want to say I'm also looking at potentially starting another stream that will likely pick up sometime on Thursdays. So if any of the viewers or if any friends that might be interested in joining in, I'm not sure of the system yet, but I'm working on a couple different concepts. So definitely follow me on Twitter. If you're interested in joining my Discord, reach out to me and I can definitely get you guys in there. I'm probably going to be transferring that over to community so that you can discover it and join yourselves. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you to the players. Live long and prosper, and boldly go where you've never gone before.
Hey, even if you've never played tabletops, or if you're unsure about, playing a system you don't know, honestly, Wolf is probably the best teacher I've ever had.
He's a great GM, man.
Absolutely.
He's a fun guy to play with.
Absolutely.
Too kind.
No, I knew nothing about this system, and he taught it within 2-3 sessions. So.
Well,
Um,
guys. Oh, Elrath did the howl. All right, here we go. Oh, Good save, Elrath. Good save on that. There you go. There's your howl. There's your howl. That is fantastic. Be well, be safe, and again, thank you everyone so much for watching, and we will definitely catch you all next time, and we'll be back with D&D 5e next session. So be well, be safe, and we'll talk